the sign was given. It's in the way you move and in the sound of your heart. We tend to fall together, fall in love, and still in the end we'll fall apart.
Lucy.
So his hope is that we stay close, but it's the life that we chose. It takes time to get it right, sleepless days and nights. We just need a little more, just a little time for you and I. So stay a bit longer, just a little time for you and I, until it's all over. Just a little time. I think that we got blinded, 'cause when it's good it's great, so we can't see we're fading away. So his hope is that we stay close, but it's the life that we chose. It takes time to get it right, sleepless days and nights. We just need a little more, just a little time for you and I. So stay a bit longer, just a little time for you and I, until it's all over. Just a little time. Just a little time.
I know it's nothing new, but it's so good to see you. We do this every day, and I'm still so amazed by you. So hold me tight through the night. It's just us two, me and you. Oh, oh, I can't believe you love me. Oh, oh, I just feel so lucky. Oh, oh, still can't believe you love me. I hope it never ends. It's being more than friends. Yeah. You know I'm here to stay every single day. Yeah. So hold me tight through the night. It's just us two, me and you. Oh, oh, I can't believe you love me. Oh, oh,
Hello, and welcome. No dangle clocks today so far. Knock on wood. So, how you wonderful folks doing out there? Let's take a look at the chat, see what's going on. Let me start saying hi. Mallory Gates, you were the first to show up. Thank you. Appreciate it. Becca Nichols, hello and welcome. Deb22, hey, what's up? Lance Ward, hello and welcome. If I remember correctly, I think you're in the UK, and it is very hot out there right now from what I've seen. Who else we got here? Hello and welcome. All right, Vaping Snowman, hello and welcome. Thank you for coming to the live show. Awesome. All right, so, Kevin, welcome. Hope you're around for a long time. Couldn't imagine vaping without you. Thank you very much. Very much appreciate that. YouTube and all social media platforms right now are basically trying to shove vaping into the closet like it doesn't exist to protect the youth from seeing what's going on. In my opinion, and from what education that I've gotten from child psychology classes and whatnot, that is the worst thing you can do. When you take and you relegate something to the prohibition side of things, what are kids naturally going to do? They're going to want to find out, why did they ban that? It doesn't make any sense with what I see going on around me. I know people that vape. They're not dying. I know people that have been vaping a long time. There's nothing wrong with them. In fact, they seem to be getting healthier the older they get, compared to other people their age. So it doesn't make any sense. But unfortunately, the reality is Reddit has now taken the e-cigarette forum, and it's all not safe for work now. It's all adult-only, restricted access, almost prohibited content. And speaking of prohibited content, a bunch of Reddit groups have been eliminated and wiped off the platform, because you're not allowed to violate certain rules depending on where you live. And it seems to me the general consensus for social media is you pick the most restrictive country, and that's what you set your rules based on. Utterly ridiculous. So, speaking of news, let's jump right into the Global 20. Just giving you a basic rundown of what's going to be on the show. I would have put it up over the weekend. However, my light bit the dust, my key light, the main one that lights up this side of me. So I had to order a new one. Just came yesterday. Got it up last night. Everything seems to be working fine. So let's jump into the news. All right, where are we at here? Let me see. Am I still zoomed in? Negative. Let me clear the screen. My apologies. Dangle clocks are going to be inevitability today. All right, Food and Drug Administration has a problem with vaping. Something is wrong at the Food and Drug Administration, Center for Tobacco Products, and federal courts are beginning to notice. Yes and no. I don't know if you guys have heard, but I just saw last night, Triton Distributions lost their case and it's sent back, and they didn't get to continue their stay. So now the big question is, if you're a shop owner and you have Triton Distribution products in your store, are they now technically illegal because of the original MDO, marketing denial order? Nobody really knows. We do know that the Food and Drug Administration is taking a usual backseat approach, fortunately, because technically now, with synthetic nicotine being in the regulations, and the deadline for that was the 14th of this week, anybody that didn't submit a PMTA application with synthetic nicotine in their liquids or in their products is technically considered a black market item. Welcome to being a criminal, guys, just because you're a vapor, living in a prohibitive country where corporations and profits are worth more to society from the executives' decisions at the CEO positions than our lives. Sad day in reality. You don't need to be a conspiracy theorist to understand how this is now going. Well, Food and Drug Administration has a vaping problem, and that's going to be covered this week in the Global 20. In addition, some Auckland dairy owners find a way to get around regulations restricting vaping products. What happens when you make prohibitions so restrictive that people can't operate the way they normally operate? They're going to find a way to skirt the law. And that's what's going on down in Auckland. FDA warns synthetic vaping companies, but sidesteps total crackdown. Well, how much manpower does the FDA actually have to go and enforce these rules? And how long does it take for them to enforce a rule? I mean, they got to send you a letter first notifying you that, hey, you're in violation. You need to stop what you're doing and explain to us why you're doing what you're doing. And it's going to be back and forth, and eventually they can seize your business and send you with a bunch of fines if you don't cooperate and follow the law. I think the bigger worry that we have in this market is if they do decide to crack down, Customs and Border Protections are now going to be playing cat and mouse with everybody that's importing stuff into the country. But we're not going to be the first country that's going to be in this situation. Let's take a look at Queensland. Queensland's police news. Police launch vaping awareness videos for local schools. That's exactly who you want to have come and talk to your children at school. The police department to talk to you about health problems. Speaking of which, there was a Supreme Court decision this week that basically said cops are not doctors. So they're not to enforce laws that are not actually being broken, but are in the purview of the doctors writing the prescriptions. This is all regarding pain pills, but it can extend to any product out there, especially right now with the legalization of marijuana. I mean, if the doctor writes you a prescription for it and you're supposed to be using it for health reasons, well, guess what? The police shouldn't be able to fine you or punish you simply because of their personal beliefs. Here we go. Don't get sucked in by websites' vaping claims. There is so much misinformation out there right now. I just come across half a dozen this week researching the news. Half a dozen popcorn lung articles that were just published this past week. I can't believe it. That's been long dead, buried, and the bones have been chewed up by the wildlife in the area. It's been gone and disproven for so long, and yet it still keeps coming around. Matter of fact, on Twitter today, I saw one of the doctors saying they'd run out of body parts to say vaping is going to hurt you or harm you. So they're going back to popcorn lung? What the? Doesn't make any sense. E-cigarettes used by 1 in 5 university students in the United Arab Emirates. Study finds. We'll be covering that in the news this week. And I wouldn't be a responsible journalist. I mean, that's technically the angle I'm going at this with. If I wouldn't have taken a look and see what's going on in China, because we know the Chinese regulations, the tobacco industry has now been monopolized in China, and that includes the e-cigarette industry. And now there's a bunch of framework that they have to fall into. They have to get licensing and permits, and everything has to be put into a database to be exported, and they have new rules, no flavors in China, only tobacco. So taking a look at their website, bluehole.com, we find that the tide in electronic cigarettes going overseas. From manufacturing exports to brand exports, the industry has become polarized. Well, of course, because they banned all the flavored products in China. So what are these companies going to do? They're not just going to shut their doors and quit. They're not going to switch over to just tobacco products because that market is already saturated. And quite frankly, most people don't like the tobacco products. Sure, it might be interesting when you first go to quit smoking. Oh yeah, I'm using tobacco, so give me a tobacco flavor. I don't want none of those fruits. That's for kids. because they hear all the misconceptions that are out there, and they hear all of the propaganda that's being slammed down our throats. So they go and they try the tobacco. And for some of them, they get enough nicotine out of it that they actually are able to quit. And then it's like, after a couple days of not smoking, your taste buds wake up and you go, wow, this tobacco actually tastes really horrible. Why am I using this? Let me try some of that fruit stuff you got over there. What do you got? And then they realize, you know what? We couldn't smell or taste anything when we were smoking. And now, when you're not smoking because you're vaping, well, guess what? Things taste totally different. And things that you couldn't taste before, all of a sudden, they're bright and vibrant in your palate. And it changes your impressions of what your favorite foods are even. I remember when I quit, that was my initial reaction. All right. Moving on. Malaysia cabinet has approved tobacco and smoking control bill ban sales to post-2005 population. Another rolling prohibition standard established in Malaysia. We'll talk about more of that on the news. Magic Flute has become the first batch of brands that have passed the National Standard Review and will open the collection of National Standard tasting intentions. Well, that's the first brand. There's going to be many others that they're going to approve because they don't want to completely kill their industry. That's a lot of money to the Chinese government. Regardless of what you think of the Chinese government, let's take a look at things factually. That's a lot of money, a lot of industry, a lot of jobs, a lot of exports. This I found interesting. Cambodian police oppose e-cigarette use, but cannot take action against users. I've read a lot of articles about different countries imposing laws, and they're doing it just like they do drug prohibition. You go after the dealers. You go after the manufacturers of the products. You don't go after the user of the product. I mean, that's the same approach. Well, here in Cambodia, the police, even for youth, can tell them, no, you shouldn't be doing that. But that's about the extent of it. They can't fine you. They can't throw you in jail unless they catch you with a certain quantity of it. And then you go to jail because you were importing it into the country for distribution, or you were manufacturing it if you imported incomplete products and made it a usable product. All right, next. Here's a wonderful website. If you guys ever want to know just a quick purview of what's going on in the vaping industry all around the globe, take a look at Vaping Today. I come across their feed on Twitter all the time. Always posting their latest articles and pieces. Got a couple stories from there that's going to be going on the Global 20. Government crackdown on smoking and alcohol paused until next prime minister is chosen, ITV News understands. As y'all know, Boris Johnson got the axe, so they're looking for a new prime minister in the UK. Who's it going to be, and what's it going to do to tobacco harm reduction in England? Well, we'll take a closer look at that in the news. Here's something else interesting. Millions of disposable vapes containing valuable metal are ending up in the landfill. Yeah, we all despise the fact that, especially in Europe, because of their TPD requirements, people have to buy multiple disposables, and you're literally exchanging a single disposable for a pack of cigarettes in Europe. So every day you're buying one or two of these things, and since they're disposable, well, all the material that's made to create that vape goes into a landfill. Lithium batteries and lithium resources on this planet are a limited resource, just like oil. Why are we throwing it into a landfill? Why isn't there a recycling program set up? Instead of focusing on banishing flavors and banning vapes, maybe politicians should focus on putting reasonable regulations in place, like wherever you bought this thing from, You need to take it back to them. And when that store orders new stuff, well, all of the used stuff goes back and gets recycled. Common sense. At least I think it would be common sense. And this is something that keeps popping up, and people have asked me before, where on earth do you have an article that says that nicotine is not any more harmful to your health than caffeine? Well, this link will be in the description of this video after we get done today, and it'll also be in the Global 20 News this week. And another piece of science that I keep throwing out there because people just don't seem to get it. Misinformation that's out there makes you want to believe that this is worse for you than smoking. And that is dead wrong. Here's a very simple study that was done back in 2018. This is the one I keep talking about. For people that have chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, when the smokers switch to vaping, their lungs and their COPD get better. And the changes, the improvements get better over time, and they persist even after they quit. And even when they don't quit. It's a 3-year study that was done. And this is the science that we should be following, not the ones created by Bloomberg henchmen on their prohibitionist crusade across the world. All right. This is supposed to be mixing and chilling. So how about we go back to the chat, see what you guys are talking about, and give me your impressions and your feedback on what you just heard. Does that bother you, hearing all this stuff constantly? Mallory Gates, yes, I did see that article, and that's going to be in the Global 20. Ukraine is using the batteries from these disposable products in the drones that they're using to fight back against Russia. I thought that was fantastic. Always wonderful to have some innovation that takes a problem and turns it into a solution, which fixes the problem and creates resources for another problem that they were having, trying to find batteries. Hello and welcome, Flavrz. You Australian people are diehard, let me tell you. I know it's like 2 o'clock in the morning where you're at. In Brisbane and Sydney and East Coast of Australia. I can't believe you guys are here. Thank you. I very much appreciate it. Brony Saint, hello and welcome. All right. First thing I want to do, especially now since the Flavrz is here, I want to actually try out your spearmint gum in a real tank. I did the little knuckle test after I mixed it up. And I put it on a dripper, and I liked it on the dripper, but I want to see how it is on this Freemax tank. So, let me switch over head. Move the camera back into place. I got that whole corner all tore up because I had to change that light out. Move some stuff over. Well, let me pick out a nice coil here. Got the dropsies again. You would think it's a Monday. Sad day. Used the last of the coil, the single coil. All right, where are we at? I have so many juices on my table right now. Unbelievable. There we go. There's our chewing gum we mixed up last week. Prime this coil up. I love how easy it is to change these coils in this tank. You know, pot mods do have their advantages. For a brand new vapor, sure, it'd be nice to buy yourself a mod that you know you've got a 510 connection on. So if you can't get the coils or you don't like the tank, you can always swap out a different tank and get use out of that mod. It's not relegated to the shelf like a disposable would be. But as I've come to find out, these things have gotten so good this past couple of years. They just keep getting better and better. I don't know how they can get it any better than what they already have. This is what fast forward is for. Hiya, Brony. I could smell that from over here. Fantastic. And as you can see, I was prepared this week. Cleaned out these new drippers. So whatever juices we make today, I'm going to be able to, where did I put my coffee? Sometimes I think I'd lose my head if it wasn't attached to my face. Don't know. All right. Let's switch back over to Google. Let's come up with a recipe that we're going to mix up today. Homicidal Maniac, welcome. Appreciate you showing up. Yeah, it's way early in the morning for you. Appreciate you stopping by. All right. Switching over. You guys see what I see. Let's take a look at the flavor stash. Good old Sherlock Holmes, boy. See what we can make. So while he's looking at that, I want to talk about this Sensei that I did a couple shows back through on the Jabo mod. I love this top design. I don't know why other people haven't done it, where you twist it and then it flips up like that. That's fantastic. However, in my exuberance today, I filled this thing up and wasn't thinking this is an older tank. They didn't leave any reserve capacity on the top of this for air to be in there. So when you close the lid and you seal it, you put a little pressure inside the tank, which naturally flooded the coil. Right before the show started, I had to change my shirt. It was leaking all over the mod. But it does vape fantastic for something as old as it is. And that cola recipe, delicious. I need to mix up a batch using the rest of the ingredients because this doesn't have any good cooling agent in it. But it still tastes wonderful. All right, so what do we got going on here? What are the recommendations that we have? Miyogi's Cappuccino. All right. All right. Fantastic. Comment added, recipe reviewed. And that's what the whole purpose of this is. There are literally thousands upon thousands of recipes out there. But none of them have any reviews on them. And for a brand new vapor that's getting into DIY, that's intimidating. So let's get these recipes reviewed, find out what's good, what's bad, and let's learn how we can improve these things. especially with all you people that have been mixing for years and years, you can look at a recipe and go, that's missing from there. We need to add some dragon fruit, increase that mouthfeel. Little things like that are invaluable to a new mixer. So what are we making today? Let's jump a couple pages down, see what they come up with. Bavarian orange, strawberry custard cup, Brazilian coffee. Oh, that's a simple coffee recipe. I think we're going to jump into that one today. You don't mind? I love my coffee. Since I don't have my cup in front of me, well, let's try and vape it. All right, what do we need? Brazilian coffee. We just got that in. Vanilla swirl. I moved all my stuff around. Got another rack. Spread it out a little bit more. Hopefully it'll make it easier to find this stuff. Fantastic. So, let's adapt this. We'll put our show on there. And amount to make. That's the fantastic thing about today. I'm placed an order from Bull City Flavrz and got a bunch of stuff. So let me make this recipe, and then we'll jump over to the overhead, show you what all I got, and we'll use that new bottle to make a little 30 ml batch. Whatever, that's fine. Not particular about that. We'll save that. Fantastic. I need to clean all this stuff up. Problem is, I used all of it. Here's that strawberry we mixed up last week. Watermelon. That's the watermelon we mixed up. Watermelon lemonade. Light on the lemonade, heavy on the watermelon, and it tastes like a real watermelon. My wife said, don't touch the recipe. You want to change the name? Change the name. But leave that recipe alone because she likes it the way it is. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Just change it to a simple watermelon and release it. Maybe I should add a little dragon fruit to it. I don't know. Another day, another time. Vape mail. I thought it was ironic how when I went to upload this video today or schedule this live, I didn't even get the description written for it. Just simply imported the contents from the last episode, and YouTube already marked it age restricted. Ironic considering the last episode was heavy on the science. Clean it up later. Hot diggity. And what I really needed is right there. Got a bunch of 30 ml and 60 ml bottles. So when we do our mixing, I'm not inundated with 500 mils of liquid to try and vape through. Eventually the inventory is going to get so high, it's like, I'm going to have to give it away, or certainly can't sell it. It'd be illegal. All right, so we got what we needed there. I did pick up a Wonder Flavor sample pack. That's what all these little ones are for. Looking forward to trying out those flavors. Got some lemonade flavor from Flavor West. I got the Purellum lemonade. And Flavrz suggested I pick up double chocolate clear from TFA. So that'll be another recipe coming up. Put this stuff off to the side. I'll deal with you guys later. I need my scale. And I didn't even put the music back on. Oh my goodness. There we go.
Hey, I wish you could see yourself just sitting there on my chair. I'm staring at you. You don't even notice.
Fantastic. All right. So for this recipe, we're going to be using the Brazilian coffee. 1.5% for 0.45. Something I learned, when you try and make a 10 ml bottle, it is very difficult to have an accurate recipe when you get these percentages so low. There we go, 0.45. Vanilla swirl. I love vanilla swirl. 0.63. Oop, a hair over. Sorry. I really love vanilla. Fantastic. Throw some secret sauce in there. $1.86. Fantastic. Something else that I learned that I haven't implemented yet. I take my old bottles for the flavoring, and I'm going to take like a 60 ml bottle of that and fill it with the PG, so when we go and mix up our stuff, we'll be a little more accurate. Because we're looking at 6.38 grams of PG.
As long as I'm able, scare the monsters under your bed. Deep and abiding, liking for you is all I need. Until my heart gives in, I will do it.
Close enough. It's supposed to be 6.38, not 6.83. We'll give that a little stir to blend all the thin ingredients together that are all PG based. Smells like a delicious espresso. Okay, 26.5. Beautiful. Good shake. Moving some stuff around. Got a new power supply to put in the back. That's what I've been using to mix it with. Just a little Vortex blender. Way more effective on these 30 ml bottles than on a bigger bottle. But it does work pretty good.
until my heart gives in. I will do everything I can for you.
I think that's blended well enough for a shake and vape. Alrighty. Grab our Bushido out. Freshly wicked. Lovely flip top dripper. I'd like to get a couple more of these.
Hanging on to hope and holding on to a dream. Wishing for the kind of love you see in magazines. The illusion falls and nothing's what it seems to be. The part left is hurting deep inside of me.
Fantastic.
Heard a whisper, someone saw you at the bar. Was it the same night you had trouble with your car? It's getting old, I've heard your stories told 1,000
Lance Ward says it doesn't know many people in the UK doing DIY juices.
the same old lines. I'll leave it all behind.
New battery.
Wasted too much time, I've been blind. 'Cause there's no fixing what's been broken. This ain't the first time I'll be drinking.
I can't get over how long a battery lasts in this Oxo Velocity mod. Yeah, this top piece may not be the most sturdy connection, electrically speaking, to this dripper, but battery in here lasts
Down the street,
weeks.
rain is pouring down.
21,700.
Feet are walking
Excuse me, only running at 35 watts.
I'll leave a bitter taste of love come back, I'm finally free. The mirror I can see a different me. I'll leave it all behind.
Very good espresso.
I wasted too much time, I've been blind. 'Cause there's no fixing what's
I think it needs a little bit of cream.
this ain't the first time I'll be drinking you off my mind.
A little Vienna cream, maybe.
It's gone, and there's no road leading us back home.
Surprising how well
This ain't the
that Brazilian coffee resembles a nice espresso.
last time. At the bottom of the barrel,
Wonderful.
love to be found.
So we'll take this, put this on the shelf,
I'll be drinking you off my mind.
add that to our testing batches that we have going on. I'm going to build myself a little rack in the next couple days to keep these things organized and start an Excel sheet so I can literally document things along the way. Because an old fart like me tends to forget a lot of stuff. Just like how I forgot that earlier I put in that wonderful bubble gum into here. Time for us to take our first vape on it.
I wasted too much time, I've been blind.
Yep.
'Cause there's no fixing what's been broken.
Wow. The mouthfeel. When you first take the vape on it, you get that minty sensation, the minty, airy, spearmint, peppermint kind of aspect of a gum. And it's not peppermint. It does have the inhale, just like you were tasting a piece of gum. Maybe not quite as sweet, but I kind of like that thing. That's a good thing because a lot of the juices I've been mixing up lately have been very, very sweet. I really love this. And the mouthfeel is like a beautiful gum, a fresh piece of gum. I'm salivating just like you would if you were to put a piece of Wrigley spearmint in your mouth. Fantastic. How well am I on custards and creams? I love them. My wife hates them. This may become my new all-day vape. It's fantastic. All from a one shot. Chewing gum. Very good. If you're brand new to DIY, one shots are your way to go. Flavrz has a whole lineup of one shots, but they're not the only ones. I don't care where you go. Bull City has a selection where they used to take recipes that people mixed up and they would have basically a one shot for you to be able to do that with. DIY or Dwayne, he has a bunch of one shots. You can buy it. You don't have to worry about mixing, and your accuracy can be just a little bit off because everything's already pre-mixed in here at the right proportions and the right ratios for the flavoring components. And then you can adjust it. If you don't like, 70-30, you want a mouth to lung device, you can make that a 50-50 blend. Or you can do max VG, whatever you want, where you literally take the flavoring, put the percentage into the bottle that you need for the size bottle it is, top it off with VG, and now you got what's called max VG, because you just maximize the total percentage of VG that can go into it. I'm going to have to give Icy Pole a try. Matter of fact, I might as well do that right now. Let's switch it over. Icy Pole, we're going to mix this one up same way we did the last one. Make the fresh recipe right now. All right. And we'll create a new recipe. Give credit where credit is due. We're going to make 30 mils today. Make it our usual fashion. We're going to add our flavor to it. And I'm going to bump that up. 16%. Fantastic. Save that. That's why I got a bunch of these 30 ml bottles. My wife's not going to know what to do with all these flavors to try. Wow, look at this. That's actually stayed on the bottle. That's fantastic. Normally you're sitting there ripping a thing off or it falls off. Whoever you're getting your bottles from, these are wonderful. All right. Turn it on. 15% of a 30 ml bottle is going to be 4.8 grams. Close enough. That's the wonderful thing about having a one shot. You can be a little bit off, just a little bit more flavor, a little bit less flavor. But the flavor profile doesn't change. Now for PG, we're only going to have 2.5 grams of this. Wonderful. Blend that with the PG and the flavoring, as I'm literally spinning it so hard that it's flying all over the place. That smells really good. Somebody needs to invent smell-o-vision. Probably cost you about 30 grand to get one, but it might be worth it. Especially when something smells this good. Okay, 26.5 grams of VG. Beautiful. Clean up a mess. You know what I mean about the label? About the ring? Fantastic. I didn't put any secret sauce in there, but that's okay. You doing a lot of mixing? Sometimes it's better to do it that way. Oh, let's find our other tank. Speaking of tanks, I got a whole bunch of stuff I dug out, was going through. Here's the old Geek Vape Loop RDA. Somebody asked me a question about the rebirth, so I had to pull that out. We got Times Vape Diesel, and found our Vapors Cloud we picked up. Mangala. Need a stand. Look at that old deck. We're going to build that for our next recipe. I'll set that off to the side because I really want to try this icy pole. You'll just put it on the drop. Should have done that first. I would have freed up a stand.
Can we just leave and walk away? Walk away, walk away. Maybe you won't see me get emotional, and sometimes I pretend I'm just above it all. But I want you lying next to me. Yeah, I want your body, body, body too.
Yeah, it looks better.
I get scared to dive into it. I want you lying next to me. Yeah, I want want your body, body, your body.
Wow, that's delicious. Beautiful, sweet. Strawberry, raspberry.
I want your body, I want your body, yeah. Oh,
Man, this could be an all-day vape for somebody.
and I want your body, you know I want your body, body.
Perfect blend of sweet, a hint of that sourness you get in fruits, and the mouthfeel just coats your tongue with sweet fragrance. It's just beautiful. Wow. That icy pole is delicious. And that's something that I'm going to be using to put in other recipes. Because that would be a beautiful bridge. You get something that's got some very potent flavors that dries out your mouth. I think something like this would be fantastic to blend it with. All right. Put that off to the side. Fantastic. I need to make some coffee. Excuse me for a moment. So, what are y'all chatting about out there? Take a look at it. Add one shot to soda streams and mocktails, or just a plain vodka and flavor it. Fantastic. I was planning on adding some cream to my coffee today, but I literally don't know what I do with it. I made a fresh cup before we started today. I don't know. Been doing a lot of man chores around the house lately. Trying to get caught up, doing laundry, running the sweeper and whatnot. My wife's been working so hard this summer. Let's throw some coils in this thing. What comes with it? Got those little tiny round wire. I'm not opposed to using round wire, but those things are tiny. Look at the diameter inside of there. Is that 2.5 millimeter or something? Nah. There we go. All right, we're going to do a Clapton Helix in here. It's supposed to ohm out as a dual for 0.18 ohms. It's going to take a little finagling to get it to fit inside this build deck, but we can manage that. As soon as I found this, I'm like, we're probably going to run long today because I really want to build this. I want to try this thing out. People have been saying you really need to try Vapors Cloud stuff out. Yeah, nice 3 millimeter inner diameter. Okay, so I'm gonna put a little more of a twist in there, and we're gonna space these coils out a little bit.
And all you have burns to the sky. It's all too late. You wonder why. Amelia,
Check and see if our width is enough.
your everyday. Is this
Just a little bit more.
But don't you agree? With beating hearts, we're still.
Awesome.
There comes a
Let me get our non-wiring pliers.
when all you have is who
I'll bend this down.
Cornelia.
And grab the other end.
You'll be all I'm thinking of. You told me the thing would shape or form that you're in.
Not quite low enough.
From the wealth of the color of your skin. And all you have burns to the sky. It's all too late. And you wonder why. Cornelia.
Beautiful. What size tool do we need? Do they use a standard size? Yup. That's fantastic. All right, so slide that in. I'll trim these leads before I get it in there. That'll work pretty good. We'll prep the other side. Somebody with my eyesight, it is so wonderful doing this on camera because you can literally zoom right in to see details that it's impossible to see with the naked eye.
You hold on to me like I'm already gone, and whisper your words like secrets written in an old moleskin, and look up above. The sunlight seems like it is gonna break in. Something ain't right. Yeah, something ain't right. Oh, something ain't right. Something ain't right. You straighten my
Beautiful.
Wearing the skirt that my mother gave to you. I come up behind you and kiss on the side of your neck a few. And turn off the lights, the stars in the sky are turning so clear. And without the words, the feelings unheard can still be just as sincere. But something's not right. Something ain't right. Oh, something ain't right. Something ain't right.
Well, it's a little janky there. Spacing.
Walking the leaves under the trees without any shoes on, and holding my hand to spin you around, and I sing you a song, and taking a breath like taking yourself to the hospital.
Put it on a build stand, see what it ohms out at.
And I feel okay, almost the same, but I know I'm not healed.
Knocking stuff over left and right.
Something ain't right. Something ain't right. Oh, something ain't right. Something ain't right. Oh,
0.18. Beautiful. What are these coils?
something ain't right. Something ain't
Okay. Cleaned off. With space coils, you don't have to worry about hot spots. It's a wonderful thing. Like I said, I got the dropsies. So while that cools off, let's take a look at chat, see what you guys are up to. Thank you. Can't wait to get there. Been a long time coming. It's sad because with YouTube restricting everything in adult, I understand we don't want kids to be watching this kind of stuff, but realistically, it literally pulls it out of their algorithms for stuff that most people watch, even if you are interested in it. It's quite frustrating for me where I've subscribed to a bunch of people out there and I want to see when they go live or when they put up a new video. It doesn't come through half the time. I literally have to go look at their channel to see, oh, they've uploaded a new video. I didn't get notified of it. I still say it's censorship, if you ask me. What does it cost for 100 mils of juice in America? Depends on where you go buy it. Vape shops around here, you're looking at probably 30, 35 bucks. Depends on the tax and what state you go to. If you go to Ohio, it's more expensive because they have a 10 cent per milliliter tax added to bottles of e-liquid. So you get a 120 mil bottle. That adds up quick. Here in Pennsylvania, it's a 40% wholesale price tax. So if the shop buys the bottle for $6, you spend 40% of $6 as your tax. And that's the distributor's responsible for collecting that. At least that's what the shops tell me. All right, while we're waiting for this coil to cool off, I did want to bring up two things I came across today. We have our usual message from Governor Cuomo, former Governor Andrew Cuomo.
Vaping is better than smoking.
Yes, thank you. I'm glad you pointed that out. Even the monkey agrees with you. Common sense knowledge, 95% safer than cigarettes. It's going to be better than smoking. All right. Here's a chart. Came across today on Twitter. This is a wonderful piece of factual data from the 2021 National Institutes of Health Adult Survey. This is how many adults use vaping products daily to not smoke. 4.8 million in the United States have quit smoking and continue to vape. And as you can see by the slide, it states clearly that later quit people total 6.2 million on top of that. All right? We're looking at 15 million people, 18 million people that vape or used vaping to quit smoking. We have a bunch of people that are still on their journey and still sometimes have a cigarette, but it's still better for their overall health outcome. Yeah, I know the science doesn't support that argument. If you smoke a cigarette, you smoke a cigarette, and it's supposed to totally kill you and be horrible for you. But I say every toke that you take on a vape is a toke that you didn't take on a cigarette. So the overall health outcome is going to be better, because the more you vape, the less you smoke, and the less you smoke, the less you want to smoke. Yet they're making a big hay and to-do over 2 million teens that have experimented with vaping. And out of this entire country of 320 million people, only 800,000 say they use a vape daily. And I'd be willing to bet that every single one of those ones that use one daily are living in hard times or their parents smoke or vape. But they ignore those kind of statistics because it doesn't support the prohibition, which we know prohibition does not work. It comes back to this EVOLI thing. In September 2019, the FDA announced illegal THC concentrates with tainted vitamin E acetate, not nicotine e-liquid, caused the lung injuries of EVOLI. But that didn't matter. Facts didn't matter to then Governor Charlie Baker, who banned the sale of nicotine vaping products. In November 2019, the month after the CDC also announced illegal THC concentrates are the cause of lung injuries, Baker banned most flavors of nicotine e-liquid, making tobacco harm reduction less attractive to smokers and confusing and muddying the waters for smokers looking at an exit away from smoking. He also added a 75% tax on nicotine vaping products, making tobacco harm reduction more expensive for the poor than their generic cigarettes. This is why I fight, and this is why I'm here every single day to advocate for harm reduction. It isn't just about how delicious these flavors are. Bubblegum. Spearmint gum, bubblegum. Fantastic. Here's what the weather is today. Yes, I realize we're running a little bit long today, but I kind of warned you guys if you read the description, we're going to be running long today. 28 degrees Celsius, broken clouds outside. Feels like 86 degrees for those of you in the United States. Humidity 62% because it's been raining the last 2 days. So we're getting a little reprieve from the heat. Unlike those of you in the UK right now, I saw they were calling for something like 39, 40 degrees today. Depending on where you live. If you live near the coast, it's going to be cooler, but unbelievable. All right, I think these coils have cooled off enough. Let's take a look at that. Let's pull out some cotton. Throw in there. As I go bumping my microphone. Fantastic. Little looser than I like, but you know what? It'll be fine for a dripper.
Even if what we're doing is bad, there's so many emotions. Sharing stories that we never had, yeah, none is real. I think we're searching for reasons not to be like them. We fly around like paper planes, they never know where we will fall. Nobody can see us, still they wanna tear us apart.
One of these days I'm going to finish this video on the best wicking material for vapors. I haven't made up my mind yet on which is truly the best. There's the different circumstances and different situations where one is better than the other. This cotton bacon, half the time when I get it, it's so loosely packed together. Not my favorite. I know why people for the longest time were using Muji pads. That's way too loose.
Something different about the way we are.
That's better. Open this end up a little bit since I twisted it. Tuck and roll. Fantastic. Now, what am I going to put on that? Make up a new recipe. Why not? All right. Mallory Gates asked for a custard, and I was asked last week for a custard, so let's go with a nice custard recipe today. Solo vanilla custard, very simple. What else we got out there? Will's Custard Cookie. Okay. Let's do that one. That should be a nice custard cookie. Let's adapt this. I'm going to make 30 mils. They want a steep time of 21 days. That's because the Innerwear biscuit takes forever to ripen, reach its equilibrium in the mix. But the sugar cookie and the vanilla custard ought to work really well, especially since they're pushing the custard to 9%. So let's give this a try. Let's see, 30 mils. Everything else looks good. Save that. And let's get these ingredients out. Anywhere biscuits, easy to find. The labels are so different than everyone else's. Sugar cookie, Capella, piece of cake, super sweet, and vanilla custard. Fantastic, simple ingredients. Zoom back out a little bit. All right, start off with our Innerwear biscuit. 0.3. That smells so good.
I plan to let you know the longing of my heart.
Sugar cookie. 1.2.
Whenever we're apart, it takes me through the night. When I look deep into your eyes, when I look deep
Vanilla custard is 2.7.
when I'll be coming home, and I am on my way. When I'll be coming home,
And our super sweet is 0.32.
I wanna see you play the music of your heart. I'm followed by your light. Whenever we're apart, it takes me through the night.
Awesome.
When I look deep into your eyes,
Secret sauce, 1.86.
oh, when I look deep into your eyes.
.8 for PG.
When I look deep into your eyes, oh, when I look deep into your eyes,
And we need 26.5 for our vegetable glycerin.
when I look deep into your eyes, when I look deep into your eyes.
There we go.
If I could hear my
Will's Custard Cookie.
voice, you would tell me to
I think that smells wonderful.
You would say I'll be just fine. Yeah, he would tell me we had time to laugh and time to heal.
Beautiful shake.
Our favorite song is on repeat. Drinking wine until the dawn, knowing soon we'll be back home.
I'm going to put that on Dovebo Odin today.
About you.
0.18.
That you knew. That I'm thinking about you. I see that smile on your face. You told me about that.
Ooh, that smells delicious.
Something in the atmosphere. You always hear. Time to laugh and time to heal. My favorite song is on repeat. Drinking wine until the dawn.
So what's this airflow going to be like on the Mangala?
I'm thinking about you.
Buttery smooth airflow on this Mangala.
And I'm wishing that you knew.
I can tell it's a custard. I can tell it's got some cookie in it.
That I'm thinking about you.
And with the long steep, that custard will ripen into a beautiful, rich, luxurious mouthfeel custard. I think I would enjoy this more if it had some kind of fruit component to it. But other than that, it is a delicious recipe so far. And I'm really impressed with this Vapors Cloud Mangala. I picked that up for $10 on clearance. Fantastic. That is definitely going to have to sit there. I'm going to put it on the shelf. I'm going to label it after the show. We'll start the review on this. And speaking of reviews, I am today going to start the review for the Oxford Origin SE. Nice little all-in-one unit. Comes in multiple colors. I got the green one. Looking forward to trying that out. After I do the review on that one, tomorrow, I'm going to start the atemporal RTA and give that a try. So that's your first look on what I've been reviewing so far. The Spino that I did the review on has finally kicked the bucket. My wife beat it to death, literally. Still has a beautiful peach iced tea flavor. No off notes to it whatsoever. It's just getting to the point where it's run out of liquid in there. But a delicious flavor. And that's what we aim to mix when we do our DIY mixing. So I think that pretty much wraps it up for today. I don't want to keep you guys too long. See what's going on in chat. Do I have grapefruit? Or were you talking to somebody else? haven't bought any banned from Flavrz. Well, they can ban flavored in your vape, but they can't ban flavors altogether because these flavors go in coffee, they go in vodka, they go in anything you want to put them in. You got a mixed drink you want to add some flavor to, you can take some plain ordinary liquid and add the flavoring that you need to make it delicious. Has anyone had an eggnog e-liquid? I got a recipe from one. Mowgli Vape sent it over to me, and I got the eggnog flavor here. And now that you mention it, I think next episode I'm going to have to mix up that eggnog recipe because it does take a long time for that to steep out because of the rich egg flavor that's in it. And I just got an email yesterday from the hardware store saying that canning jars are now available, which means we're nearing the end of summer here. For yins down south, you're nearing the end of your winter season. It's time for seasons to start changing. We're going to get our peak heat up here in the north. And then all of a sudden, before you know it, it's going to be fall. And the leaves will be changing and falling again. Time flies by so quickly, especially when you're having fun. I'm about 4 pages up because the chat has not been updating. I'm not that far behind. I found what the delay was. It's in YouTube settings. Normal latency is what I had on because I wanted the best picture quality. But here it turns out you can cut that latency down. So I clicked it back a notch. That atemporal RTA has a whistle noise. Yeah? Wouldn't be the first one. The other one that I got coming up that I'm going to be doing, I got Bogan's Blotto here. Didn't have enough airflow for my preferences. There's nothing wrong with it. It worked. I wish you could have put a bigger than a 2.8 millimeter coil in here to get the flavor that this thing gives you. Well, finally got my hands on the Blotto Max. So I'm going to be starting a review on that after I do the atemporal. I'm wondering, did they increase the airflow on it? Even just a little bit? I hope so. Because I really like the flavor that comes out of that. If you haven't picked this up yet, I highly recommend it. Simple read. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to understand this. And the book fills out all the missing pieces of information you may have on vaping. Written by Dr. Colin Mendelsohn, big advocate for the community, especially down in Australia. Fantastic book. Football season, right around the corner. I'll be honest, folks, I'm not a big football fan. Not American football. I would rather watch European football. But that's because of my upbringing. Both of my parents were Hungarian. That's what I watched growing up. And I hate the fact of commercials. We watched something on Peacock last night. We weren't willing to spend $80 to buy the series on Amazon. We may end up spending the $80 because I hate commercials. I forgot how much I despise commercials. Netflix and Amazon Prime have spoiled me, and I can't tell you the last time I've seen a commercial. The only time I see commercials is on YouTube. You're enjoying Hunky Vape? Well, I could make another recipe. I said I was going long. I've got no time constrictions. If you guys want to hang out, I'll be happy to do another one. I don't have to go anywhere. And that's the other reason I do this show. My show isn't here to teach you how to DIY. It's pretty common sense stuff. You get the basic fundamentals down. It's a little experimentation. You can make somebody else's recipe, or you can experiment, make your own recipe. The information's out there. It's fantastic. All you got to do is click on a flavor ingredient. Take a look at their notes. Everybody puts their notes in to tell you what they recommend to mix it at. And it's trial and error. And something that Flavrz taught me that was so obvious I should have realized on my own is that you need to know what your flavoring ingredient is. One shots are a great way to jump into the swimming pool and get your feet wet. You mix it up, you try it out, and you know it's going to work because it's a one shot that's been formulated to work perfectly by itself. A lot of these other ingredients are so good that if you only wanted a single flavor, especially when you get something like coffee, which, I mean, you're probably going to put some cream with it, so it's a very simple, logical next step in the DIY chain. Find that coffee, mix that single Brazilian coffee flavor up until you get the percentage that you like. Maybe a hair stronger than you'd like it to be. Then you can add the cream in that you would put into your coffee, and you now have a beautiful coffee similar to what you would normally drink. Simple common sense stuff. Some ingredients don't play well with each other, but that takes time to experiment and find out for yourself. Sent Stop Smoking and Start Vaping to my Congressman Raja that never read it. Yeah, my congressmen and my senators don't read my emails either. They got some little high school flunk out lackey that is some high uppity up son that gets to intern with this representative that sits there and replies back form letters to all of us that sit there and complain about stuff. I'm convinced these senators don't read any of the stuff that we send them. There might be some of them. House of Representatives is your best bet if you want to get through to somebody, especially if they just got into office, because they literally have to fight tooth and nail every single day to raise enough money to run for re-election in 2 years. So that's where your best bet is. Senators are there for 6-year term. They've already been around the block, and they're relatively untouchable. Many great advocates out there on Twitter. Yes, and I want to talk to all of you. I finally got Flavrz was so generous. They upped their contribution at Patreon to support this channel. And I made a statement a long time ago. Every bit that comes into Patreon, minus what Patreon takes for taxes and whatever else, is going back into this channel. So I finally got a pro Zoom subscription. So any of you out there that want to be part of this show, send me an email, djalex@hunkyvape.com. We'll set up a date and time that works, and you can come on the show with me. Throw your 2 cents in. Maybe we can argue about some stuff on the advocacy side. It's always wonderful to debate different topics and conversations. Although I suspect that most of you guys that are here completely agree with most of what I've already said. I feel like we need to have this conversation and get this conversation out there for everybody to be a part of it. And unfortunately, most of the people out in the United States aren't going to get involved until they go to the store and they can't get it anymore. And they realize all the stores are gone. Then it's going to be a big problem for both the politicians, the FDA, and the whole social media platforms too. So, go check out Flavrz website. Pick up a one shot. They have made my life so much better. It's nice knowing that I have somebody that's out there supporting me and that I don't have to constantly just use my money to try and make things better here. That light that went Friday, thing's only a year old. Another $150 out the door. But that's what it takes to make these kind of productions. And I want to get better at it. I want to get another desk along here because I know the main problem I have right now, and the reason I have to use this microphone, is because when I'm talking, my sound bounces off of all 4 of these monitors I have set up. Matter of fact, I'll give you a little back of the stage view. That's the light that kicked the bucket. That's the setup in place right now. And I got another shelf over here to kind of spread it out a little bit more, make it easier for me. Make it easier for me to keep these flavors organized so we can see what's going on. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. But I'm not the only one out there. Mallory Gates is a stormtrooper out on Twitter, constantly correcting people, correcting the misinformation that's out there. And she's not the only one. I've come to find out there's literally hundreds upon hundreds of us out there taking on the good fight to try and get people to understand that this is the easiest way to quit smoking. I tried everything else. Nothing worked. This worked. And there's science backing how much safer this is than smoking. They're not going to eliminate cigarettes? Well, then they need to promote the best way for people to quit. Because this is so good, you don't want to have a cigarette. I love this thing. Fantastic flavor. All right. That sounds like I'm going to make one more recipe. So let's jump over and figure something out. You need another screen. Yeah. The one I have the DJ machine on, I plan on upgrading to another bigger monitor like this one. And I'm going to put a desk next to this one so I can do the news. I'm going to have a lapel microphone, and because I'm going to be facing away from all these monitors, I'll be able to talk. It'll sound just like it was coming from an evening news broadcast, no matter what channel or where in the world you're at watching TV. Thank you, Mallory Gates, for being such a great top fighter and correcting the misinformation that's out there. Awesome. You're more than welcome to come on the show. And because there's so many ins from Australia watching this, I am going to do this on our Monday evening here, which will be your Tuesday morning there if I did the math time warp calculation. That's the plan. I didn't do it this week because I had to fix this stupid light and change it and get a new one. Mrs. Hunky Vape saying she doesn't make that much money. Yeah, okay. You've made enough money to be able to build this studio up from nothing. I don't want to hear it. Yes. Yes, wifey. Flavrz is going to give us the recipe to make Red Bull e-liquid live. I told you, Zoom is going to be the next improvement for this channel. I've already got people that I've reached out to. We're going to get a schedule set up because my memory is not what it used to be. We'll have a different guest on each week for these live mixings so we can talk. Yeah, she's a very supportive wife. Busted, but even if I didn't tell her about it, she'd watch this and find out for herself. And very accurate. Any of us out there, any of you guys watching this show can take 5, 10, 15 minutes out of your time every day. Just get on there. Find somebody touting something that you know is false and correct them. Be polite. Give them the scientific evidence to show that you're right and they're wrong. It's not about being right or wrong. It's about the fact that we've been losing this information war for so long that it's literally firsthand experience where I talk to somebody and they know me and they go, "Wow, that's really worked for you, hasn't it?" I'm like, "Yeah. You want to give it a try?" My cousin, I gave her a complete setup. I have to reach out to her and see if she's doing it, still using it or not. Problem is, some of these people, they go in the convenience store, corner store, and they buy a vape, and they don't realize that those coils don't last forever. You can't just use this thing forever. It's not some medical device that never needs parts. These coils last a couple days. Some of them last a week. This Freemax one that I just did the review on, the Marvos X. 2 weeks I got out of this thing. A cappuccino. But you got to change the coil. They don't last forever. She will never run out of juices. However, she doesn't like all juices. Kind of picky. Meringue, marshmallow custard, TFA sweetener, smooth, WS23 cool. Awesome. Like I said, she's pretty picky on her juices. She doesn't like any of the custards or... And the thing is, my taste buds can isolate individual components in a lot of the things. I'm not as good as somebody that's been doing this professionally. I'm not like, you know, those people that evaluate different kinds of coffee beans. They can isolate literally every little nuance here or there. But I can identify a lot more flavor components than my wife can. When I give her something, she's like, she gets the main idea of the juice, but she doesn't get the nuances of it. Like if I were to hand this cappuccino to her, she's like, that's a nice cappuccino. But she doesn't know what's in it. Doesn't have a clue what's the primary, whether coffee is more dominant than the cream, or she has no idea about froth, what the froth aspect of it is. And for me, it's been a learning experience too. You don't learn the stuff overnight. You develop the skills over time. Trial and error. All right, so let's come up with another recipe to mix up.
Don't be lying. Don't be lying.
What do you mean lying?
You don't make me good juices. You make me blue raspberry and have me try all the custards, and you know I don't like any custard.
Well, I gave you the watermelon. I gave you the cappuccino, the vanilla bean
No
cream,
cappuccino.
the cola.
No cappuccino. No. No.
Sorry.
Yeah, love you, bye.
Love you, bye. Hey, you got to see Mrs. Hunky Vape. All right, what kind of mix? One more ingredient. One more recipe for today. We tried that gummy undies thing. So many simple recipes out there. Watermelon 120. Wonder if this is the same as DIY or Die Wayne's recipe. I've seen half a dozen recipes on here that I like just from the sounds of it. Glass of cold apple juice. My wife loves apple juice. Let's try this one.
I've been acting like a wild man, sleeping like a child.
Fantastic.
I'm always in the mood for you.
So, double apple from Capella. Dragon fruit, TFA. Super sweet. I already have that out. And WS23. So double apple is a 4%. Dragon fruit is 0.5. That's going to give you the mouthfeel. 1% of super sweet is going to be a very sweet sensation and some cooling agent. Mrs. Hunky Vape, do you want your apple juice to have the cooling sensation? Or do you just want the straight up flavoring? Yes, you want the cooling. Okay. I think your pot mod's got you convinced of it. %, yeah, that's way too high. I saw the 0.3 and I'm going, okay, 0.3%, that'd be all right. That was grams. That's too much. I think one drop will probably be enough for this whole bottle, 30 ml bottle. Because other than a disposable, she hasn't vaped anything icy. She didn't like it for the longest time. All right, double apple, 1.2 grams. Wow. Definitely apple there. This isn't going to be an original recipe. Sorry.
Wish that I could stay. Wish for this moment to never go away. But it's all in my mind. And though I know that there is nothing to find, you're a beautiful sight in the summer night. And you can't put up
Oops.
a fight in the misty light.
Now it's accurate.
See how you roam while you roam in the streets all alone. And all you can see, thinking about what your life came to be. You're a beautiful sight in the
Whoa.
summer night.
That's going to be too much. 0.22.
And you can't put up a fight.
We're just editing this recipe all to hell.
Misty light.
All right. That was too sloppy. And
Try to live another day like the mothers of Brazil find their way. We're all on our own, but you're the most beautiful I've ever known.
okay, so
You're a beautiful sight in the summer night. And you can't put up a fight.
did you mean 0.3 grams or 0.3 point? 5% flavors. So I'm not sure one drop of this is going to be enough. Maybe it will be. I don't know. Literally 2 drops to get 0.05. Percent. Okay. That's the right percent. All right, super sweet. We got the dragon fruit, double apple. You know what? Why am I so careless? I'm making 30 mils. Not 10.
Oh, my love,
Put that back to 1.
you're such a fragile thing, I know. And with the winter comes the ice, the snow. But I'm it all.
The original recipe I had set up was for 10 mil. We're not making 10 mil, we're making 30 mil.
Don't worry about the cold.
So we're starting from scratch. Okay.
The trees haven't stopped.
Icy pole is 0.15.
Just feel the summer sun as it warms, I bet. I'm lying,
Fantastic.
and I'm lying
Super sweet.
when I say I'm
0.32. I need to put this in a different bottle because this likes to come out of there heavy-handed. And when you're making a 120 ml bottle, it's not that drastic as it would be in this.
The seasons come.
Fantastic. Now our dragon fruit is 0.45 grams.
I've been feeling so small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall. But tonight I'm
1 drop too many. Double apple is at 1.2 grams.
gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out. So try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at these beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me, no, nothing can break me. Try not to hold me down.
Awesome.
Alive
Secret sauce.
in this town. Look at these beautiful stars. I wanna take a trip to Mars. Nothing can break me, no, nothing can break me.
1.8 plus 2 is 3. Amazing how many kids can't do simple math in their head.
Look at these beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. They my troubles to
Okay. Little PG,
through my sick
4.98. Might as well say 5.
that's looking fine. And I know this is my time now. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna
26 and a half.
Look at these beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me, no, nothing can break me. Try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at these beautiful stars. I wanna take a trip to Mars. Nothing can break me, no, nothing can break me.
There we go.
I'm gonna be myself, I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. Try
One more Bushido.
not to hold me down, feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at these beautiful stars, I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me, no, nothing can break me. Try not to hold me down, feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at these beautiful stars, I wanna take a trip to Mars. Nothing can break me, no, nothing can break me.
Geek Vape Ages. Forced it to retest this because it said everything was the same.
Out of reach for the city lights. This ain't where I belong.
All right. Bump that up to like 35.
What I become. I've been running east, looking for
And the cooling agent. You change that recipe one more time.
what I thought was gone.
Edit.
In my pocket, in plain
0.3.
all along. I think it's time for me to go. Burn all
So that should literally be one drop.
I know. I got lost along the way. Fell between the fold, pulling stitches. Time to let go. So come what may. Don't look before you leave. What you give, you get to keep. So long, farewell, bye-bye. Let's have a toast for those lost old lives. And my crooked little heart that seems so rebellious is falling apart right now. I'm bleeding an easy kill. Gonna leave it all behind. I think it's time for me to go.
Fantastic.
All I know, I got lost along the way. Fell between the fold, pulling stitches. Time to let go, so come what may.
The apple flavor seems muted. This tastes like a red delicious apple. Doesn't have a whole lot of sweetness to it either. Yeah, it needs more icy pull. Awesome. All right, I'm going to play with this after the show today. I've kept you guys long enough. Coming on 2 hours now. Wow, that icy pull is fantastic. Yeah, I was thinking Fuji. Fuji at half to 1%. Let's do that. Go back to the recipe. Edit this.
I'm waiting at the doorstep, I'm finally home. I've been gone for too long. Standing here a while just to take it all in. Radio's playing our song. And then you stood there smiling at me as so many times before. I'll never wanna be away, leave you again. You are all I want and more.
Okay, so we need 0.3 of the Fuji.
If only I could do one thing, I'll be with you. It's true. Baby, how I need the loving of you.
We're going to bump up the super sweet from 1% to 2%, so we need 0.3 more of that.
Waiting at the doorstep, finally home. I've been gone for too long. Standing here a while just to take it all in. Radio is playing the song.
Awesome.
It's true.
And then you didn't see me doing anything because I didn't switch screens. So let's correct this
If only I
to 2%.
I'll be with you. It's true.
Yes, super sweet will kill coils. Like, I noticed that the TFA sweetener, if you put too much of that in, it mutes flavors.
Will you still love me? Yes, I'm getting hungry and old. And when you are away, I sometimes shivering cold. It is hard to define you, but you're worth more than gold. When everything is told.
Definitely getting the sweetness now. The apple's not very identifiable. I mean, you get the apple note to it. Wish I had my coffee here to cleanse my palate. I think this is pretty good. I'm gonna let this sit here and ripen. Wifey's gonna try it out when she gets home from work today. I think that's gonna be a fantastic recipe. I really appreciate all you guys sticking around. Becca Nicole says I need to stay longer. I can stay longer if you guys want. What are we gonna mix? What are we gonna mix? Let's revisit that lemonade recipe that we did. I want to make up a batch, use an actual lemonade instead of just lemon flavor.
I feel the day is coming to an end.
You're always welcome anytime. Did I ever get that pie crust flavor? That's a good question. Let me look at my stash. You'll make your pecan pie. That would be awesome.
Coming home soon. So take me out to California, where the sun is always high, where the streets are paved with gold and no one ever gets old. I'll be longing for that day till you come and take me home, California.
Nope.
California.
I'll have to add that to my next order. Then again, I don't know what Wonder Flavors has here either. They might have a crust. Anywhere a biscuit's pretty good as a crust.
The wine is flowing and the fields forever green. And all your hopes and dreams will always be.
You want the coil redone on your vape? I can do that. We should have 2 Arbiter 2s. Where's the other one? Is it on your nightstand? Need to swap it out. All right, recipe. Here's the watermelon lemonade. We're gonna adapt this, edit it, spell it right. Lemonade V2, we're gonna make a 30 ml bottle of this. We'll keep the rest the same. We're gonna swap this ingredient out. I'm gonna try the lemonades here. Pure Elm lemonade. Very lemony. Very sweet. That lemonade tastes like the lemonade you would get at like a county fair, where you get the sugar and you get the raw lemon flavor and the oils from the lemon skin when it's sitting inside of your lemonade. Pure Elm lemonade tastes like county fair lemonade. Take a look at Flavor West lemonade. Ooh, very astringent. Not as sweet. This tastes like when you finished off the big jug of lemonade you bought at the county fair and you let that ice and that lemon sit inside of that cup. And like you're on your way home from the county fair, you take one more swig of that thing because the ice is finally melted. And it's really potent, lemony flavor. That's Flavor West lemonade. I'm gonna go with Pure Elm. You eat lemons just like they were oranges. I do that every once in a while. You want that really tang, sour sensation in your mouth. Might have to order some more 30 ml bottles. Ordered 25 of them. All right. So I think we're going to go with this. And I'm not familiar with it. I'm going to stick with 1.5%. I can always increase the percentage of the lemonade as I try it later on. All right, we'll hit save. I'll have to give that a try. That's a very interesting statement there. I suspect it might have something to do with the concentration of vitamin C in there. Vitamin C did help my ringing in my ears for a while. All right, 0.45. That smells so good. Man, am I glad I got this flavor. Super sweet. We only need 0.16 of this for 0.5%. Fantastic. Everything she wanted packed behind the pretty face. But I kind of hold. All right, flavor art, watermelon. Into little pieces and let me pick them all back up and put them back together. But I can't believe I let you slip. I think about it 7 days a week and this just can't be how. This flavor art watermelon, it's kind of like, you know, you get some watermelons and they taste like the very sweet part of the watermelon. This is like, and you can get the two different kinds of strawberries. You have the sweet strawberry and you have strawberry ripe. This is like a watermelon ripe, this flavor art. Point of 1.05. What if I just wanna be with you? Fantastic. Oh, I don't know what the hell I'm gonna okay. Blend those together. I think we might be on to something here. 1.86. Whoops. PG 5.75.
Here's to the good days, here's to the sorrows. If this is a mistake, I know about tomorrow. I don't wanna fight no more, cause I don't feel the need no more, no. Just wanna make it stop. Maybe it's something in the water, or maybe we just hit the end of the road. Right now it doesn't even matter. It's too late not to let it go. And that's why
and then 26.5. I love making the same size all the time. It's getting to the point now where you don't even have to look. We had a good run. Don't say we didn't. I was your first love, and you were my first one. Cheers to all the memories, the venom and the remedies, yeah. Promise I won't forget.
maybe it's something in the water, or maybe we just hit the end of the road. Right now it doesn't even matter. It's too late not to let it go, and that's why
I've got a couple different scales that I bought. This one is definitely the best to do mixing on. It's sensitive enough that it literally picks up even you breathing on it, but not delicate.
it's for the best, and you know why. You gotta leave me here tonight before we make this even worse. It's gonna hurt even more than just us. We gave it all we had. It's time to say bye, baby, bye.
Sweet.
I'll be, you'll be, yeah, we'll be fine. So let's call it a night, and that's why I wish you the best and say goodbye. You start to get dressed and then we cry, 'cause we both know it's gonna
Need a coil. I'm out of drippers.
this done, so baby, bye. It's for the best, and you know why. You gotta leave me here right now before we make this even worse. It's gonna hurt
That's the Aspire Guru tank.
this doesn't.
That's the one that has the pop-out coil. You pull this down and the coil pops out of the top. Ordered a set of coils for that.
Clouds and thunders standing in my way.
Then literally drops in, pop it down, just like that. Piece of cake. Wish more people had coil changes that easily. Just pop right out of the top of the tank.
But I must try to figure it out alone. Yeah, I must try to figure it out alone. And now, ooh, when you're gone, ooh,
Fantastic.
things won't be the same no more, I'm sure. It'll take a while 'cause I'm still sore, yeah, now. Ooh, when you're gone, ooh, I know I still have a long
Watermelon. Straight up watermelon.
it'll take a while to reach the golden shore. Walls
Yep, that's what that recipe is going to be called. Straight up watermelon. 'Cause that's exactly what it tastes like.
but I must try to figure it out anyway. Tales of worries travel with the storm, but I must try to figure it out alone. Yeah, I must try to figure it out alone.
That looks pretty good on there. New coil, 0.27.
Things won't be the same no more, I'm sure. It'll take a while 'cause I'm still sore.
Can't remember what it's supposed to run at. 50, 55. That's the one problem about in Canada. They have these requirements on the label. There it is. They have the importer's identification, who imported it into Canada, and it covers up the original label. Fortunately, on this label, they did put on there 40 to 50. So we'll go down to 45. We'll let that sit there a little bit longer. This is a good recipe. Mrs. Hunky Vape's going to steal that tank. The only thing that sucks about this Guru tank is, if you let this thing run down low, sometimes she runs her tanks completely dry, you'll toast that coil and be done. Oh, yeah. Sour. You get the lemonade. And you get the watermelon. Feels like the watermelon and the lemonade are fighting right now for placement. Which is the more dominant? And because it's sour, the lemon's winning. But what's this going to be like after it ripens for a day? And it's just sweet enough. Oh, fantastic recipe. Yeah. Well, that's going on the shelf. Unbelievable. We've made so many amazing flavors today, and they're all delicious. They're all fantastic. I just can't get over it. How simple this is. Now, when I first started mixing, I tried some of the liquid bar and stuff and trying to come up with recipes and stuff, and just didn't have very much luck with it. Single flavor, no problem. But a lot of the liquid bar and flavors don't like to mix well with other stuff. You'll find that in a new mix. It'll settle in a day. Yep, I think that one will. When those flavors blend and mesh together, that one's going to be nice. On the Shake and Vape, it's a little harsh, but it's just sweet enough. You can make out each of the flavor components, and it feels like they're fighting over it. I think the flavor palette will widen after that sits for a day. I think that's going to be beautiful. Thank you. I know it's not easy to make perfect recipes. I made plenty of ones that I've made that were like, this is all right, just average. Doesn't have anything that pops. Kind of a blended, like a juice, where all the flavors are together. It's hard to get flavors that separate into, you get one on the inhale, and then you get another one on the exhale, and then you leave this mouthfeel that it's like a tapestry trying to make music. There's a certain amount of science to it, but I believe that there's some artwork involved in trying to formulate good recipes. Well, I think this is going to wrap it up for today. Deb says, thank you, Mrs. Hunky. Go plug your phone in and charge it. 2.5 hours, folks. I think I'm going to wrap this thing up, or nobody's going to watch it on the replay. I will have to put timestamps in for each of the things. I will note all the articles. And it's about time I get to this Oxford Origin SE and get that review started. They're kind enough to send that to me. Might as well get a good review out for them. Assuming the product is good. Then I got the Atemporal and I got the Blotto. I got so much planned for this week. I sincerely thank every single one of you guys out there for watching my videos. If you want anything content-wise, let me know. Send me an email, djalex@hunkyvape.com. If you want to come on the show, feel free to reach out to me. I'll be happy to have you on. I'm going to be reaching out to other reviewers out there. I know one in particular that hasn't been made any videos in the last 2 months. I'm going to reach out to him and get him on the show. Get his mug back on here, out in front of the public. Plus, it's going to be good conversation for all of us to take part in and interact with. This vape family keeps us from going back to smoking. I still can't get over that Wrigley's gum. So thick on the mouthfeel, like gum. I salivate so much with this vape. Thank you, Flavrz. That bubblegum is fantastic. And next episode, I'll start another one-shot recipe. I want to get through all these. They're fantastic. I haven't found a bad one yet. Unbelievable. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Really appreciate you guys coming out for today. And my wish is always peace, love, and a hunky vape to end cigarette combustion. Have a great day.